Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS or state? Did you miss sending out a prior year tax return? The IRS is out to collect now more than ever, and they'll use any means necessary. They legally can and will garnish your wages, take your money, and even seize your property. If you're behind on your taxes, call the tax relief hotline right now at 951-224-9000. That's 951-224-9000. 951-224-9000. You can legally get your tax debt under control, and in many cases get the breathing room you need. Garnish wages, property seizures, bank levies can stop immediately, but you have to call. Many of our specialists are IRS enrolled agents. They know the system and how to make it work for you. Don't wait for the IRS to come down on you. Act now so you can get your tax debt under control. Call the Riverside office today for free info at 951-224-9000. That's 951-224-9000. 951-224-9000.
Welcome back. Yes, it is the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET, 1490 AM. Where are you tuning in from? We want to hear about it. Lots of news, including Golden Globe winners. Did you watch last night? Again, full list. We've got the Golden Globe winners if you didn't catch it. Again, one of which was a very, what was referred to as a hybrid show. Obviously, people questioning how our award show is going to happen coming up around the corner. Are they going to be better? But of course, the 78th annual Golden Globe Awards was this Sunday. Netflix managed to collect 10 trophies, including one for Best Limited Series, The Queen's Gambit. Have you seen that yet, Jesse?
No, it's on my list of things to see. I remember, I think it was Rosalie that was talking about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wanted to see it. I just never got a chance to watch it.
It's actually pretty good. Chess, if you enjoy chess or enjoy the strength of chess and the ability of the mind to be able to counter your opponent, it's a really good series to watch. It takes place, I believe, in early 1900s or 1940, 1945. 1950. Amazon became the first of the internet insurgents to win Best Motion Picture Comedy or Musical for Borat's subsequent movie film. Apple TV Plus, Hulu, and Disney Plus received notable Globes. Jesse, you got something you want to say about that? I could tell.
It's Borat. If you know who Borat is, you'll know. It's such an unusual comedy. So if you have Amazon, watch it.
Yeah, and you know what? Nod to it for winning, right? The old, let's see, most prestigious prize, the Globe for Best Drama went to Nomadland from the art film powerhouse Searchlight. The film's director, Chloe Zhao, became the first woman to receive a Globe for directing in 37 years, the first Asian American woman ever to win. The last one who won in 1984 for Yentl was which actress?
I have no idea.
You're like, what movie is Yentl, actually? Barbara Streisand. Barbara Streisand won for that. Zhao called her film, which centers on a group of modern-day van-dwelling nomads, a pilgrimage through grief and healing. She quoted one of the real-life nomadic people she met along the way, defining compassion as a breakdown of all the barriers between us. The director cited that as the reason she fell in love with movies. She said, quote, "It's a chance to laugh and cry together and learn from each other." Although the organization behind the Globes, the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, was criticized going into the ceremony for its lack of black members, voters put forward a roster of winners that was diverse. In a major upset, Andra Day received the Golden Globe for Best Actress for her performance in The United States versus Billie Holiday, streaming now on Hulu. Chadwick Boseman was honored as Best Actor for his performance in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, released by Netflix, something you might want to check out if you don't have the streaming service. Definitely get it. In a year with all the other nominated films, because of the pandemic, the biggest tent award show there is. Of course, there were people feeling like, man, it wasn't as big enough, but you got to make it work. So winners came from films like Judas and the Black Messiah. I want to see that, actually. I don't know what that's about, other than the Black Messiah and Judas. The Marvel Maratonians to get noticed. Many people, including some in Hollywood, were hard to care about the little thingamabobs at a time when the coronavirus is killing people. So it was an awkward pre-show, according to some, during which the presenters fawned over homebound nominees like Kate Hudson for music and Leslie Odom Jr. for Hamilton. The ceremony jolted to a start. Tina Fey and Amy Poehler returning as hosts. Fey thanked the smattering in person so the celebrities can stay safe at home. So there you go. Did you get to watch it? Did yours win or did they not? A lot of people, of course, have questions as to, what's going to happen next. Is it going to happen the way they want it? And I don't know, but we'll see on what way it'll happen next. But we need to take a little commercial break. We'll be back right after these messages. Stay tuned.
Who is the Atua Man? Can you imagine exploring spiritual consciousness through an exotic action-adventure story? The Atua Man is massive. Love, forgiveness, life and death. Find out in John Stevenson's TheAtuaMan.com, Apple Books, Amazon.
My mom is a breast cancer survivor. The United Breast Cancer Foundation saved her life. Their free breast cancer exam caught the cancer early, and that saved her life. But now the foundation needs your help so they can continue offering free or low-cost breast screening exams, saving more women's lives. Help them by donating your car, whether it's running or not. They'll provide fast, free 24-hour pickup, and you receive a charitable tax deduction, plus the great feeling you'll get knowing your donated car is going to help save more lives. Just call 800-781-0965 to set the wheels in motion. They take cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs, running or not. Call 800-781-0965. The United Breast Cancer Foundation needs your help, and your donation could literally save women's lives, helping them catch breast cancer early, like they did with my mom. Donate today. 800-781-0965. That's 800-781-0965.
Tried shipping a package lately? It's amazing how difficult and time-consuming it can be. Packing, envelopes, boxes, second-day ground, next-day air, it's all enough to give you a headache. Next time, do yourself a favor, go with the pros at the UPS store in Beaumont. They'll pack it right and let you know all your shipping options. You can also take care of everyday tasks like copies, faxing, notary services, and live scan fingerprinting. And while you're there, pay your Edison, gas company, and Verizon bills. Open extended hours Monday through Saturday. The UPS store in Beaumont, located in the Oak Valley Plaza at 1440 Beaumont Avenue. Call 951-769-5956. That's 951-769-5956. Online at the upsstorelocal.com/5027 or Google 5027.
Welcome back. Yes, it is the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. Don't forget, you can always stream us live on your Amazon Alexa enabled device as well. You can always check that out, or just download our app, KMET 1490 AM, if we're ever not streaming where we should be on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Periscope TV. Just kindly find us there, and we will, of course, be there for your listening pleasure. We appreciate each and every one of you. Let's see. According to a particular friend of ours, he watched Tom and Jerry on HBO Max. That friend, Jesse Sanchez. Jesse, was it good?
It was actually surprisingly good. I was quite surprised.
So this is the one that they talked about, like in. So was it a combination of? Because this is the one we thought wasn't going to be good, right?
Yeah, because I was afraid that they were gonna do like live action animals and stuff. No, they're cartoons.
Okay.
So it's like a hybrid cartoon and live action. So they embrace the cartoon and the fact that they still don't talk, which is great. I would have been upset if they did. But you know what? It's a silly slapstick comedy. You know, Tom and Jerry, they're always going at each other.
I think they made in one of the episodes. Wasn't it Jerry speak at one point, or was it? No, it was Tom. It was Tom that started speaking at one time. I believe on a couple. It didn't work for the cat and the mouse. I always liked the duck that was the duck in it. Remember the little duck or the cousin, like that was the country mouse. He was like, God darn it, why do you let that cat take you all over the place? Right? Remember he was that guy, and then the duck was like, and then the one that was shoo. Remember that? That was great. That was good, fun entertainment. Okay, so you know what? So definitely something we should watch. I appreciate that. Let's see. Rosalie says, caught up with WandaVision last night. OMG. I'm not sure what that means, but I'm assuming it was a really, really good episode, right, Jesse?
Oh, yeah. It's getting really good. Like it started slow. Like I'm talking about really slow.
Yeah. Like nerve wracking. Like, am I going to get through this? How many? Wait. How many episodes approximately did it take? Because sometimes it happens like 4 or 5, and then it finally jump into it.
The first 2 episodes you're watching, and you're just like, "What's happening?" It's on the 3rd episode where everything starts to explain itself, and every week you'll start getting like pieces of the puzzle, and you start seeing the bigger picture, and you're just like, "Wow."
Okay. All right. So definitely another must watch. Let's see. Rosalie says, one of my boys has me hooked on Attack on Titan, which is an anime. It is really good, according to her. I don't think I've seen that entire. Wait, or have I? I don't.
That's a good anime.
Is it a good one? I love anime, by the way. I really do. It's something to pay attention to. So there you go. Kantia Wunderland from Switzerland says, hello, Aaron and Jesse at the Breakfast Club. Greetings from Switzerland. I'm traveling with my husband and dog in our mobile home. Social distance and masks, of course. Awesome. That's very good. Let's see. Rosalie says, I love Death Note 2. And Stephen Babra says a lot of cool stuff right there. It's like code right there, Stephen. So there you go. Okay. In other news, though, Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg's in the news. He rapped on the 2006 remix of the Pussycat Dolls hit song Buttons that I see you want to play with the player from the hood. But don't make him mad. That appears to be what happened Sunday as he was playing a bit of Madden football on Twitch. If you haven't seen him play on Twitch, you should. For those who are not down with Twitch, it allows gamers to live stream themselves playing video games while simultaneously interacting with their followers. Well, Snoop, he's a huge football fan, right? Co-hosted the recent Puppy Bowl with his BFF, Martha Stewart. He even has his own youth league, which grew out of him coaching inner city youngsters in the sport. But any given Sunday isn't always the best, as Snoop found out while playing Madden. When's the last time you played Madden, Jesse? Have you played Madden any time recent?
I played Madden. I am horrible at it. That's why I do not play any sports games. Football, basketball, soccer, I am just horrible at it.
Yeah, well, Snoop clearly had enough after his opposing team scored 3 touchdowns to the Raptors 0. He said some expletives and stormed off, but here's the deal. He forgot to turn off his live stream, which then ran for 7 hours. So, of course, a lot of people just watching, probably nobody calling him saying, yo, Snoop, turn it off. There was so much drama in the LBC. It's kind of hard being Snoop D-O-double-G. Of course, people reached out for comment, but I've had that happen a couple times. I think you said, or somebody said, hey, your stream's still on. What's going on? So you got to be careful there, right?
Right. He's lucky he didn't. No, wait, you said he said expletives. So, yeah, he could have done a lot worse. So just be glad he didn't do anything truly horrible.
Yeah, and that's one of those things where you always go like, what would be the worst case scenario that if you were still streaming that you'd be able to see? I think there's this whole YouTube mashup of ones that forgot that they were on, like they were watching their computer and they were, having some alone time or so they thought. So women gamers and the like, and then they get banned from YouTube for life, which kind of isn't cool. But
you know what? Some of them deserve it. Like I remember watching one guy who was in a wheelchair. He said he's paralyzed. He turned off his camera, and he got up out of his wheelchair.
Oh no. That's why I wear pants all the time, even though I don't have to. Sometimes I'm like, you know what? You never know. There could be an earthquake all of a sudden. I get up and in my underwear. So I don't do that. I remember I did it a couple of times, and then my mind just kind of thinks worst case scenario, what could happen. So yeah, don't do that. This is the latest. The Senate could move as soon as this week to pass the version of President Joe Biden's $1.9 trillion COVID relief bill. Took long enough. How long have they been talking about that? For like months? It will look a little different than the House bill, as it will not include the $15 an hour minimum wage. It also is not going to include the so-called Plan B drafted by Senate Finance Committee Chairman Ron Wyden that would have penalized corporations that didn't increase wages on their own. That plan faced pushback in the Democratic caucus. It's a complicated provision, but of course, the question is what's going to stay, what's going to clear. According to multiple aides, some of the stuff's just not going to happen. The difference is among members, abandoning it is a sign that Democrats are trying to move quickly. They don't want it dragging out. They are close to the finish line, and an intra-party fight over the minimum wage part 2 isn't helpful in the moment. They have a March 14th deadline, so that's what they're working towards. If the Senate passes their version of the bill by the end of this week, that gives the House time to repass the new version in their own chamber. It gives the president time to sign it, gives states an opportunity to readjust their unemployment benefits with the increased benefit. Next steps, according to this, Senator Majority Leader Chuck Schumer will bring the package to the floor as soon as Wednesday. That version will include changes suggested by the parliamentarian, which, of course, these are people that don't make minimum wage, do they? So they don't understand cost of living and or the like. But that's about 20 hours of debate. And then at the end of debate, the Senate will begin their second vote-a-rama. They should, they should publicize that. We need to vote-a-rama without them. Seriously. I'm telling you, give it to the people, and the people will make the decision pretty quick.
Right?
God, some of these just take forever. Some of the the expectations, although we had some expectations before, the unemployed will receive at least $400 a week. Any of those employed earning below $75,000, a one-time $1,400, because that helps out for 2 weeks straight. Employed earning $100,000 is zero. Because let's face it, if you're employed earning $100,000, I think you can trim the fat on what you're spending. Couples earning less than $150,000 get a one-time $2,800. Families with children $1,400 per dependent, and families earning $200,000 zero, big fat zero, because you don't need it. Come on. But there you go. So we'll see what happens. I say again, for the struggling American out there, you got to be careful, right? There's just things that you got to watch and be very close about. Now, this is another thing that's being talked about. Again, that's breaking news. This is also somewhat breaking. California Governor Gavin Newsom and state legislative leaders have reached an agreement aimed at getting most public school children back in schools by the end of March. Who knew that? Oh, I guess they know something we don't. Governor Newsom will be giving an update on reopening schools and vaccinations at 11 a.m. You can check it live on ABC News Radio. Under the deal announced Monday, school districts could get up to $6.6 billion if they reopen classrooms by March 31st. To get the money, schools must return to in-person instruction at least through second grade. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. They got. Look, I'm sorry. I'm going to go back on this. This is the same situation we found ourselves as of last year, which I can guarantee you're doing it at a time when there was a surge as of last year. Do you remember that, Jesse?
Yes, I do.
And I talked about it at the very top of the hour, right? Where, of course, when we look at last year statistics, right, it was right about mid-March. It was around February, mid-January to early to mid-February, where we were talking about coronavirus. If you look at the history of last year, now you have new variants that, of course, even the Johnson & Johnson vaccine is meant to cover as well, coming up around the corner. Then you've got situations still happening, which they're expecting another surge, which is going to happen, of course, which happened last year when we put a full lockdown. Remember, I think it was like the first 2 last weeks of March is when we went on a full, and nobody understood what the heck a lockdown was and or how important it was, because nobody knew the full math of the numbers of the potential risk that we all involved. So it's because nobody ever, you had the CDC speaking, the World Health Organization speaking, everybody was like, okay, on alert. And then you had, of course, at the time, President Trump going, don't worry about it. We'll be back. Remember that? Even though he says he had the numbers, but he didn't want to cause alarm. Then he had everybody go back in early April. What was it? Second, third week to be in time for Easter Sunday, right? And then we had a huge surge after that, which took us into June or July with a lot of deaths, right? A lot of infrastructure being tested. And then you had protesting. You had people running amok around in the streets. Not saying it was for a bad thing, but it didn't help the situation is my point. So I'm not sure that this is the best idea just yet. Again, through second grade. Now, in higher grades, I think you could maintain it. 8th and above, right? More responsible kids. But the younger the kids, I don't see it. I don't see it happening. Somebody's not thinking very smart. Districts and counties with coronavirus case numbers low enough within a specific classification level must return to in-person instruction for all elementary school grades, plus 1 grade each in middle and high school. I still don't understand what the heck they're doing. The proposal does not require staff and students to be vaccinated. Districts are not required to have agreements with teachers' unions. Again, I think you guys are running amok. But, look, I'm sure. Look, okay, I feel like we're going backwards in time. People, Governor Newsom, you were smart until you weren't. And now what's going on there is my question. You were smart as of last year. Who's strong-arming you? Number one. Number two, I get it. You want the money. Number three, let's not do it at the caution of the kids. I will say this again, and we've said this before. We had the school district on as of last year. Again, do maybe not even 8th, maybe do 6th through high school. Start with that and see if you could stay with that. But don't do the little kids. You understand why I'm saying that? Because little kids have maybe they're better at it going out in public, but I don't know. I feel like when you get little kids talking and just having fun with the other kids, they kind of forget the stuff, right? Do you remember being in recess, Jesse, and not paying attention to whoever the person was that supposedly monitors you?
Oh yeah, all the time. I don't pay attention to half the people all the time.
Yeah,
even now.
Yeah, and oddly enough, I remember getting and seeing people get bullied around the corner. You're like, "Yo, hey, monitor, you gotta help the situation." While they're on their phone, texting their boyfriend or their girlfriend. Hey, what are you doing? I'm just watching these dumb kids get my minimum wage on. Yeah. Pop on the fire later. No, I'm just kidding. But there you go. So, all right, people, we got, what do you think about it? Do you guys agree? Do you disagree? Look, it's one thing to say that and to have kids. I get it. It's another thing to say, look, I want these kids back in school, but I don't want it done in an unsafe manner. That's all. That's what I'm saying. So phase it at the higher level, see how it goes. Because we did it with the universities, right? The universities had to close down, quite a few of them. So again, let's not step backwards. Let's go forward. Just because people are getting vaccinated doesn't mean the numbers have suddenly leveled off to like nada, right? So unless that happens soon, which again, they're expecting another surge. Every time we've said there's going to be a surge, that's how many deaths are going to happen before that happens. So that's my deal. I'm sticking to it. But there you go. I think if anything, it should be optional for parents, for those that may want to. I would wait. I would honestly wait. if the little 8-year-old was around, I would say, look, let's wait for another good 5 weeks past the surge in April, which is going to happen. And then let's see, then there should be a leveling off in June and July, right? That would make sense, right? But by the end of the month, I don't know. I think I think he's getting strong-armed and he's not putting his foot down. But there you go. All right, people, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back with more right here, right after these messages. Stay tuned.
Your health truly is the greatest gift. At U-Theory, quality of life is at the heart of every product we make. From farm to shelf, we travel the world to source the purest, most efficacious, and clinically studied ingredients to create science-backed supplements that support beauty, emotional, digestive, and physical well-being. All U-Theory products are manufactured at our Southern California facility, ensuring the highest quality standards every step of the way. As a family-owned company, we celebrate the power of human potential with a mission to inspire wellness in all. Try U-Theory Immune Plus Daily Wellness, 100% daily values of vitamin C, D3, and zinc. Go beyond the you of today and catch the you of tomorrow. U-Theory.
Standard time is here. That means shorter days and cooler nights that make you want to stay inside. Don't get caught in the cold. Franklin Mechanical Systems can do a preventative maintenance check on your heating unit. Get it working right. For cleaning, repair, or a new installation, call them for a free estimate. Franklin Mechanical Systems, for all your residential and commercial heating and air conditioning needs. Call their Beaumont office at 951-845-1000. That's 951-845-1000, and stay warm today.
Are you a self-published author that maybe underestimated the challenges of marketing your own book? I'm Suzanne Lynn, and we help authors sell more books through video interviews and radio advertising. You see, a professional video interview is really an author's secret weapon for marketing because it makes an emotional connection with your reader that can be posted to social media, YouTube, your book's landing page and website, your Amazon author page, and even sent to media to request interviews. We guarantee that video interview will be viewed by a minimum of 3,000 people in your target audience. And let's face it, no one can sell your book better than you speaking about it yourself. Plus, we can run commercials on our nationwide network of radio stations that targets your specific reading audience. Find out more at GiveMyBookWings.com. That's GiveMyBookWings.com. Again, GiveMyBookWings.com.
Join the conversation every Monday afternoon at 3 p.m. Pacific for Inner Voice Heartfelt Chat with Dr. Foujan. Dr. Foujan is a radio and TV host, international speaker, psychotherapist, life coach, and the author of Life Reset, The Awareness Path to Create the Life You Want. She brings you the latest research and interviews with experts in the field of cognitive sciences. Anyone who loves to grow and create growth for humanity gets a voice on this call-in show. Inner Voice Heartfelt Chat with Dr. Foujan. Monday afternoons at 3 p.m. Pacific on Smart Talk KMET 1490 AM and on KMET1490am.com.
Welcome back. Yes, it is the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. Where are you tuning in from? What are you doing with your time? Let's see. Maria says, I wish we could travel and enjoy the sun already. Right? I know. I agree with that. Maria says, I have homeschooled all along. It's not too bad with me, but the kids miss Bible school and Sunday school so far. I wouldn't send my kids to public school right now. Anyways, and I agree with you. I would hold off on that. But look, obviously, when you talk money and you're like, hey, I might be able to make some good old-fashioned sense of that, then of course that's a question that people often want to start to kind of go, well, we kind of need some money here. Let's bring it in. So I don't know, but we'll see what happens. A 490 square mile glacier broke off the Brunt Ice Shelf where the British Antarctica's Survey's Halley Research Station is located. The research organization announced New York City is approximately 302 square miles. So basically it's a huge ice shelf bigger than New York? I got questions, Jesse. What does that mean for us? Glaciologists have been expecting a large calving event for at least a decade. The first indication that the glacier would break off was in November when a new chasm named the North Rift, the third major crack to become active in the ice shelf in the last 10 years, headed toward another chasm about 20 miles away. The rift pushed northeast more than half a mile a day starting in January, cutting through the 490-foot thick ice shelf the iceberg formed when the crack widened on February 26, releasing it from the ice shelf. Director of British Antarctic Survey, Dame Jane Francis, has said in a statement, "Our teams at BAS have been prepared for the calving of an iceberg from Brunt Ice Shelf for years." The BAS monitors the ice shelf daily using an automated network of high-precision GPS instruments surrounding the station, which measure how the ice shelf is deforming and moving. Satellite images from the European Space Agency, NASA, and German satellite TerraSAR-X are also used. Now, the impact of what they call a calving event on the ice shelf is unclear. Let's put it this way, Jesse. 490, bigger than New York, ice situation suddenly breaks off. What do you do?
Right? That's a good question. I don't know. Would that cause like a major like wave or something?
Well, that's kind of what I'm wondering. So there you go. It's broken. So the question is, I mean, that's like a huge piece of land suddenly cracked. And now, of course, going, which way am I going to go? Left, right, center? What's going to happen, right? That's bigger than the San Andreas Fault, it looks like. That's huge. Not sure if you see it there, but there you go. So they're going to watch that pretty closely there. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I watched the day after tomorrow. Okay, if anything comes out of that little giant crack in the ice, I'm going to freak out.
Well, the BAS said the station was moved further inland in 2016 to avoid the paths of two chasms named Chasm 1, which formed in 2012, and the Halloween crack, which formed in 2016. Don't worry about the Halloween crack. It's not going to be a big deal. Neither have grown in the past 18 months. British Antarctic Survey Director of Operations Simon Jarrett said in a statement that moving the station was a wise decision. Jared said, "Our job now is to keep a close eye on the situation and assess any potential impact of the present calving on the remaining ice shelf. We continuously review our contingency plans to ensure the safety of our staff, protect our research station, and maintain the delivery of the science we undertake at Halley." Staff has been employed at the BAS Antarctic Station during the summer since 2017 due to the difficulty of evacuation during the dark winter months when skies are pitch black. Again, they're going to be watching that very closely. You know what? Whenever you have that type of huge landmass of ice break off, like the size of New York City, you kind of wonder what kind of impact that's going to have around the world, right? Like, I'd be like,
right?
You know what I would do? Just to bring it back, I would throw a lot of water in between and freeze it. Be like stick together, right? Remember when Superman put it all like when like San Andreas went crazy in the Superman, and then he went down and he like brought it all together. They didn't need to do that because I don't want that floating into the. That's a huge piece of water, just like
right. Or get a vast amount of Gorilla Glue, something.
That works too. Why not? But there you go. That's a huge piece of land. So you look, water levels are going to rise. They've already been rising in certain areas. So if you're like on the brinks of certain areas, you got to be careful with that. But there you go. So that's very important. Czechs, the Czech Republic, are sending 30,000 police soldiers to enforce travel limits. Yes, they've set up 500 checkpoints across the country to enforce new strict limits on free movement. Police military forces have reinforced European Union's hardest hit nations, which marks the first anniversary of the coronavirus outbreak on Monday, by limiting free movement. So if you're in the Czech Republic, be careful out there. It's an unprecedented operation to enforce a tight new restriction that bans people from traveling to other counties unless they go to work or have to take care of relatives. It's part of a series of measures that took effect Monday as Central European nations seek to slow down the spread of the virus variant first found in Britain. This is the variant that I talked about earlier, which they say is already here. What is it? B117 or something like that. Which is what we're going to need to watch. So this is the situation. Remember when I said last year, okay, we got to look at what's going on around the world to determine what might happen here, right? Prime Minister Andre Babis said the measure's goal was to prevent the country's hospitals from collapsing under the stress of caring for COVID-19 patients. Amid a surge of infections from the UK variant of the 7,049 COVID-19 patients in Czech hospitals on Sunday, 1,507 needed intensive care. Both the numbers are close to the record set earlier last week. See, it's a higher strain. So if you do the math, that's, what is that? Almost 15 to 18%. No, actually higher than that. It was 7,000. That's almost 20, 15, 3,000.
It's too early for me to do math. I don't have enough food in me.
Yeah. Well, 7,000 would be 700. So yeah, about 20%. So of the patients, 20% needed intensive care. That's not good. That's a high number. Again, talking about the UK variant, which is here. If you missed that, we talked about that at the very beginning of the hour. Johnson & Johnson's latest one dose again. And the other ones are going to have to start including this because it's a more deadlier version of coronavirus strain, which is going to be something we're going to have to watch very closely. Since the Czech Republic registered the first 3 people infected with coronavirus March 1st last year, the nation of 10.7 million has seen over 1.24 million confirmed cases with, get this, 20,000 deaths. The 7-day rolling average of daily new cases has risen from 70.75 new cases per 100,000 people on February 14th to 109 per 100,000 people on Sunday. That was like a quick little uptick there. The worst per capita rate in the world. That's according to Johns Hopkins University. As of Monday, people in the Czech Republic who go out for exercise should not even leave their municipality. They're putting a full lockdown. Nursery schools for children with disabilities are also closed, while only stores selling essential goods remain open. Experts say the measures do not go far enough to stop the virus. Biochemist Jan Trinka told the Czech Republic radio, I consider the most important measures those that have not been applied. This is to limit contacts at work, especially in the industry. Okay, we've run out of time, but there you go. That's the news of the hour. Make it a great day, whatever you do. Remember, life is worth living. Live it well. And I kind of let that one get ahead of me. I apologize. But be careful out there. Again, when you have certain areas being very close attention to this, and I know we weren't streaming live on live stream for the very first 15 minutes, and that was only because our service was not working. But we were on the radio live talking about Johnson & Johnson. And I'm going to bring this up again about Johnson & Johnson. The latest vaccine, again, is a 1-dose. I'm sure pretty much coming up around the corner. They're probably going to have a 2-dose coming out that will be even better than that. But of course, the U.S. is beginning distribution over the third vaccine. But here is some of the things that I'm going to bring back to the listener that's currently watching. According to the latest, Pfizer, BioNTech, and Moderna's have efficacy rates of about 95%. The Johnson & Johnson vaccine has shown a 72% rate against mild to severe critical disease. It's more effective against severe forms of disease with about 85% protection. The vaccine has also been tested in South Africa with the troubling B.1.351 strain, which was dominant there, but it gave strong protection against severe illness. Now, there's different strains that you're going to start hearing. And so coronavirus is saying it's coronavirus is one that you're going to say, wait, which strain is this? Because each one does attack differently in different ways. The B.117 variant, it's B.1.1.7 variant, first detected in the UK, according to this, will become the dominant strain in the US this month. Okay, that's according to what the CDC has already predicted. More than 2,400 infections, including variant strains, have been reported. The vast majority, at least 2,400, are of the highly contagious B.1.1.7 strain. that counts much lower than the actual number of people infected by variants. But again, as these things start to escalate, of course, you got to be careful which variant you have. So if you do get tested for it, I would ask highly and say, which strain is it that I may have if, in fact, I'm infected? Because based on that will be based on which one are you going to take. Because, look, here's what I see happening, and it doesn't take a rocket scientist for this. It really doesn't. If you got one of the 2 earlier ones, are any one of those available to be able to hurdle one of these bigger strains? So don't think that you're out of the woods if you have one of these vaccines. Still be careful out there. You still got to stay relatively safe without throwing yourself, in harm's way because of one of these other potential, I don't want to call them, other strains. There are other strains that you need to be careful of. So be careful there and know that there are new ones coming out that, of course, you need to be careful on. Okay. So let's see. Maria says this, in Canada, we will now have a choice which one we want to get in the future. That's good. I like that. That's a better, and look, the Johnson & Johnson has been worked on for quite some time. I feel like that one is ahead of the game. I believe they'll probably come out with another 2-dose one, which I've been saying, if you're going to do it after March and April, right? Around that time. I was not all on board again in the first couple of months because I feel down the line we're going to see things that, they're already seeing things happen in these first 2 vaccines. And I think it's going to happen a little bit more around the line as well. So I always say, if you get the vaccine shot, make sure to monitor which one you got. So if somebody says, well, which one did you get later? That way you know which one you got, just in case you start seeing and or experiencing different health symptoms that you were wondering, wait, is this due to the vaccine and or drug that I got? And it's always good to have that at your disposal. Maria says everyone is now saying Johnson & Johnson vaccine is the best out there. I will get it next year, I guess, because I believe you got one of the other ones. But you know what? Like I said, not all have problems, but again, whenever you release these things really quick, this is kind of what happens. So, and I know you're a nurse in the nursing industry, so that's kind of important. The nursing in the nursing, no, that's called nursing in the health industry. There you go. Stephanie says, I just want everything to go back to normal. I would like to go to California and Hawaii, which I believe you can. You just have to kind of, have to be ahead of it. And what is it? You have to self-isolate for 2 weeks. So I'm like, isn't that how long a vacation is? But I would rather do that at a really cool hotel and a resort, right? Or, there you go. So that's what I would want to do. Maria says, WandaVision, hurry up Friday. OMG, best new show on Disney Plus. Indeed. Did not know that. Is it really that awesome? Okay, well, that's good to know. Let's see. Maria says, Katu Wonderland. I'm so happy for your hubby and you. Looks like the doggy is having fun too. Adopt me and take me too. So there you go. All right, people. Look, I'm out of time. Make it a great day, whatever you do. Remember, life is worth living. Be safe out there, and remember, be responsible over there. My goodness, cracks happening in the structure. Yikes! Be careful out there. Okay. Bye, everyone.